Hi, this is Susan Blue Robot from SusanBlueRobot.com. I'm here today with another card making video. This time I'm taking you on another direction in Pop-Up Card Studio. Also be using one of the newest expansion packs from Scrappy-Doo. And so we'll get started. I'm using Make the Cut's Pop-Up Card Studio, Make the Cut, and Scrappy-Doo's Scrap Factory. Here's the card. I've also used the e-bosser and embossing folders to give it a bit of look. Now, one of the new expansion packs from Scrap Factory is Brick People. And so if we start opening it, it's a closed card. Now, what do you get when you cross two 90-degree pop-ups with 180 opening? You get a card that when it opens, it pops up two 90-degree pop-ups. One here and one here. It opens automatically as you open the card. And this is how your card sits. So I've got a pop-up this way and a pop-up this way. And this is what we're going to be making. Also, I gave a bit of strength to the outside of the card by using the embossing folder and a couple of layers as well. The card that I put on the outside, I didn't make it a fold, because the more folds you put in the center, the harder it is to open and shut, and it gets all buckled. So there is just the one card that is folded in here. So we'll get started. First off, we'll start with getting our expansion pack. We go Brick People, and when that loads, first off you come up with the body style, and you pick the basic Brickman, so that's highlighted. Then we go and get the hair. At this point in time, I think I want the cook, because I've already done the undersea one and I want to make a cook one for my son. So we'll go to the cook, and then we'll go the face, and you can go down, pick the face, and I think I'll pick this face, and then you go across and you can go across and pick any one of the, and of course we want the cook. We go, that's right. Now we've got to go and pick the bottom, and I want the business pants. I go generate SVG, and then that'll go away and give you an SVG. It'll come up with what you want to call it and where you want to put it. And we'll go cookie. Right, now what you do is you go over to Make the Cut. Now, you bring in your SVG by clicking this button up here, and we pick cookie, open. So this is what you have. You have your outfit. This one over here is the full hat finished, and this one here is the full outfit finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over, hold the Control Shift and select this and bring over one of these, because if you've watched any of my other Scrap Factory meets Pop-Up Card Studio videos, you'll know that I like to take over a mask. Oops. I like to take over a mask of what my person is going to look like. So we put that in place. Once that is in place, that is what my cook is going to look like when it's done. And we're going to select all of that. And we're going to do a copy of that because I want to keep a copy of what it's going to look like when it's done. I will just tweak the chef because he's not in the right place. That's right. Now I'll keep a copy of that. So I hold the control shift down and I take a copy across and move him across. Then I'm going to go weld that copy so it all turns into a solid color. Now for this I want to take a shadow of that. So I want to do a shadow of say 2 millimeters, and we'll see what that looks like. Yes, 2 millimeters, and we go accept. I like to black out those fingers. Black out, accept. Now it's the shadow one I'm going to take across to make the cut at Pop-Up Card Studio. But I need to make them all the right size first. Now, I'm going to be working on a card of 4 inches high, which means I want this little guy to be about 3 inches, and at the moment it's 5 inches high. Nearly 6 inches high. So I'm going to, with the lock access ratio, okay, with everything on the mat selected, I'm going to go over here with this lock access ratio locked. I'm going to go 50% enter, and that took it all down 50%, so I know he's going to fit on the card that I want in Pop-Up Card Studio. He's just on 3 inches, which is what I want. So this is the one I'm going to take over. I'm going to select this one because it's the shadow. I'm going to go copy. Now we're going over to Pop-Up Card Studio. In Pop-Up Card Studio, if I brought in a new one, I want the width of 8 inches and the height of 4 inches. So this card is going to be 8 inches wide and 4 inches when folded. And we go create. So here's the card we have. Now what I want to do is, first off, I want to work in this half of the section, because this is going to be trimmed in half here and folded back to be in the card. It's going to be folded here. So we're going to have one part, we're going to work on one part of the card, then the other part of the card, and that works in the halfway point. So we're going to paste this in place. We're going to put him on the bottom. Now I want to put him in the center. Now the reason I'm not doing the scuba guy is because I've already done that and I don't want to double up my work anymore. So we go, I just want to print preview that to just make sure that the bottom is dotted, and it is. Now I'm going to zoom in here and do a chop across the top to where I think will be best. I'm on a small, oops, let's start again. I crop across the top. I think I might give it more. So we do that. We go back to the select tool, and I'm going to get the auto quad 2-point rec on a smaller snapping, on a bigger snapping of either an eighth of an inch or higher, and we're going to give a anchor to that. Right, so then that now concludes the front part. Of course, I'm going to try and think of some kind of backing to have on this, but that is later. Now I have to work out what I'm going to put on this side. So if I put happy birthday, I'm going to bring in a font. I'm just going to use Arial Black at the moment. And I'll go have a great day. Add. Select them. That's way too big. Select them. I'm going to separate them by glyph. I'll split. And I'm just going to do 2 layers. So I'll put this up on top here for the moment. And I'll work out what exactly I am doing. So I'm going to have them narrower in, but taller. And I normally bring in the whole lot of the wording on the one layer. Then what I do is I take the, of course we're not working at the full thing. We've got to work this blue line here is the center of the card. So we've got to work to the right of that card. So if I work out what height I want all the letters, and then I put them in where I want them. It's just a matter of working out what you want first off. Then I have to do my cropping, both bottom and top. So we go in, we crop at the bottom, and we crop at the top. Now, I'm doing this demo. I've had an email saying I don't explain what I'm doing, like I'm cropping here. This has all been explained in other videos, and so I'm just going ahead doing the videos as if you know how to use the program. I have heaps and heaps of videos on my blog explaining how to use the program. So if you're having trouble working out why I just use this tool here, which is called a cropping tool, to crop the top and the bottom, my earlier videos on getting to know the PCS explains all that, and I don't want to explain myself every time because it's not going forward, it's going back for me. So put that on the bottom, and then we'll give that a anchor. So we go 2-point rec, 1/8 or higher, pan around so I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to give that a full platform. And I'm going to lower that to the bottom so it brings back the H and have a. Right, now I'm going back to the select tool. I'm going to select. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going back to this layer. I hit the space bar to go back to this layer. I'm going to select these two. I'm going to go cut. Then I'm going to go back, say, to about there. I'm going to go paste in place. I took my plane back further. Go paste in place, lower to the bottom plane, which lowers to this next plane here. And I'm going to now add anchor on the top. I think at this point in time I'll have a solid anchor like I have here. So we'll hit the space bar, it'll go to the top because you'll know that because it's turned yellow. And auto quad, 2-point rec, click there. And there we have our card finished. Now it's a white card. The only thing now is this line here at the back becomes a score line, and this line down here from the front out at the 4-inch mark becomes a cut line. So I'm going to save this card, and I didn't take this out. Right. And I put where I want to put it now. And then what I'm going to do is going to go up here and export it to an SVG. So take it over to Make the Cut to do my tweaking and little bits and pieces. So I find out where I put that one. I go save. Now that's finished in Pop-Up Card Studio now. Of course I could have done more pop-ups in here and more pop-ups in here, or anything you like in here. You just bear in mind that this is one card from this blue line out to this blue line, out to this edge, and this is your second pop-up from this card to this card. Now what we're going to do, open Meet the Cut. We know that this fits perfectly, so we're going to now get a new page, and I'm going to bring in the SVG. Bring in the SVG of my Cook Brickman SVG. So here we have our card. We go clean that up. I'm going to put these to each its own. Now, unlike other things, we do have to do one bit of tweaking. So we're going to do it, make sure that this line is dark grayed out, and we're going to bring in the pencil. First off, we're going to select everything. Everything is selected. We're going to put it on a plane of 0.5, enter, and a Y plane of 0.5, enter. So now I can put this on a snapping of 1/2 inch. Make sure this one is, the cut line is the one that's darkened. And we bring in the pencil tool. With the control key held down and the snapping on a 1/2 inch, we just put a line down here. Now that's your cut line, so when it cuts around here, it will also cut a line down here. So this now is two sides are split. So now if I close that and lock that, and a score line, I'm going to do the same, doing the same here. From here to here. No. With this highlighted, with one of the score lines highlighted, I'm going to put another line up here, And we're going to make sure that we turn this into the dashes. So now what we have is these are the dash lines for the scores, and this is your cut line. So that's your card, and this is your bit for your top part. Now, what we need, this is 4 inches. Now, for your undercard, for your backing card to put it on, add a new page. So if we bring in 2 4-inch squares and a 5.5-inch square. So we'll go take the snapping off because I want to show you exactly what we're doing here. Right, with the lock access, we make this a 5.5, enter. So that is one side of your card, and we want to make this and put this on its own layer. Now, this is just for demonstration purposes. Don't freak out that you've got to work all this out, okay? So, this is 4 inches square. This is your card, half of your card when folded. So, what we're going to have is we're going to have this here. If I turn this to, I'm holding the shift key down and I'm pivoting on that point. So your card this is how your card is going to look. The bottom of one side of your pop-up is going to be glued to here. So if I select them both, do a copy. No, if I do it this way, it's easier for me. Right. I do a, so the bottom of your Cook Brick Man is going to be here, glued in here, and the bottom of your Cook wording is going to be glued in here, and this is just a plain folded card here. So that's all there is to putting on the back, but I do also take one of these little ones and glue behind the card here. This one I haven't glued it on yet, but I didn't like how you had the opening back here, so I glued a square of black behind just this back bit here, which I'll do a demo of how I put this card together. So that's what I have. So I want 2 of these, and I want a full card like this. So we'll go back. Right. So what I need is 2 of them. Apply. So they're the same color as your actual card. And we'll put them on their own layout and we'll close them. So what we want here is we want to, the width of this is we go 200%, and that doubles the card. So if I put that on a row of 0.5 and 0.5, enter, and if I put my snapping back on, say to 1 inch, no, to 1/2 inch, on another layer, I can do my score lines by just holding the control key down and going down like that. And then this becomes the line style of dashes. Okay, so this is your scoreline to your card. These two little things are for the back of your pop-up that joins in here. And then of course you cut your man out and make it up in your pieces and put it together. Then you will think, once again I use this little man here to cut one of these in my backing card, which I'll just go copy that, and when I'm cutting this one I will cut one of these as well. Then when I've cut out my little man and all the pieces, I will then make it up on here and then glue it onto here when my card's made up. So this has been Susan Blue Robot at susanbluerobot.com. I hope you have enjoyed this demonstration, and I'd love to see all the ideas that you come up with. And remember, if you'd like to see more videos, you'll find them at susanbluerobot.com. If you'd like to purchase either Pop-Up Card Studio, Scrap Factory, or Make the Cut, if you follow links from my blog, you'll help support my blog, and look forward to seeing what you do with your versions of 90 degrees plus 90 degrees in 180 cards. And I'll give you another quick look at them, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now. Enjoy.